Hey guys, it's ACairconditioner and welcome back for more Genshin Impact 3.4 update events. Last time we started the main event for this update, Night and Red 3. And we got some very interesting Fontaine crumbs, I'm not gonna lie, I have to say. And apparently Act 2 is really good, so I can't wait.
Looks like it's about time for us to meet up with Ganyu. Let's head to Eugene Terrace.
Alright, now we can truly begin. So last time we actually met up with a lot of characters already. Ganyu catching the new character Yaya, Xinyan, Zhongli as well, and interesting character named Dvorak, I think is his name, a musician for Fontaine, voiced by Marco. Again, I don't know if he's gonna be a cameo person or if he's gonna be a mainstay. Oh. Ganyu, were you about to fall asleep?
Greetings, traveler in Paimon. What time is it?
Oh no, Ganyu did not sleep all night.
Are you okay, Ganyu? You were nodding off there. Didn't you sleep well last night?
No.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Let's discuss the matter at hand. Since last time, I've been thinking a lot about the story Paimon told me. In essence, someone rescued a drowning man and performed some music. If that were all there was to it, it could have been many people, human or Adeptus. But the tune was allegedly so wonderful that the drowning man forgot about everything else, even his own impending death, and only came to his senses
Like a siren
after being
song,
brought to shore.
right?
Perhaps there was an adeptal power at work in that music that he, as a mortal, could not perceive. Or perhaps he sensed a power surrounding him but lacked the words to describe it, not knowing where it came from. Either way, if this part of the story is true, then the rescuer has to have been an Adeptus.
You really think so?
So the rescuer and the
story's
singer
all the
are
way
two
from
different
Fontaine.
identities, right?
Isn't this a bit of a long shot? Also, Paimon's really curious about how people from Fontaine think this fairy lady looked.
Wings or horns? I'm gonna go with this one. Maybe they match their having wings.
Ooh, like a crystal fly's wings? That would be pretty cool. But Paimon definitely can't imagine any of the Adepti looking like that. Actually, Ganyu, if you had to save a drowning
Divine creatures
person, how
are
would you go
very
about it?
different among nations, you know? Look at the yokai, the
Me?
Adeptus. Oh, okay.
Well, I'd get them to the shore, and then I'd probably hide behind a tree and watch them for a while.
Because Ganyu's shy.
Once I was sure that they were going to be okay, I'd slip away without a sound.
You know, I'm kind of tempted to say this, but nah. So stealthy.
Got it. So basically, Ganyu's the type of person who doesn't like taking credit for her good
She's
deeds.
probably just shy, honestly.
No, it's not like that. I'm just not very good at explaining things.
See?
And I also find it really awkward accepting other people's gratitude.
Well, what if this Adeptus in the story had a similar attitude? That would explain why she just left without saying
Or
a
what
word.
if this is just an illusion?
She was probably thinking something like, One was merely passing by and saw fit to address this egregious disruption to one's graceful zithering at once.
Good impression of an
You may
Adeptus.
keep your
Are carbon
thanks to
collagen in there?
yourself.
That was actually a very
Called
good
it.
impression of Cloud Retainer, Paimon. As far as I'm aware, Cloud Retainer isn't the most musically gifted. Still, we can't completely rule her out just yet. If we set off now, we could head to Mount Outsung and ask her about it.
So you think is
You'll
they're
be able
on
to
this
confirm
idea,
either
the
way if
assumption
it's
that it's an
her,
Adeptus
and
because they're in
I
leeway.
can,
But they don't
I've
know
been
some of the
in Liyue
information
Harbor
that
for
we
so
know.
long now that I'm just not as familiar with the Adepti anymore. If there's anything we want to know about them, she's the best person to ask.
Sounds great! And we're pretty close with Cloud Retainer by now, so we probably don't even need to bring her food this time, right?
I've prepared a gift for her to mark the festival, just in case. However,
You still have some reservations?
Cloud Retainer spends most of her days studying mechanisms in her abode. She's on her own so
All
much
right,
of the time
again.
that the moment she has someone to chat with, she just... Never mind. I promised I'd help Mr. Dvorak,
Sorry about
and
that.
now that I've made the contract, I can't be having second thoughts.
Right,
Traveler?
leeway the nation of contracts.
Paimon, let's set off for Cloud Retainer's abode.
So it seems like Ganya's gonna be
Seems
getting the
like
focus
this
this
is a
time
tough
around.
decision for Ganyu, but she's made up her mind now. Paimon gets why she'd be so anxious. Okay, how about this? If Cloud Retainer tries to start telling stories about her again this year, we should pipe up and change the topic.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Wait, did she leave already?
Well, that was fast.
Hey, Ganyu, wait up!
I forgot Cloud Return is kind of like Ganyu's. But they say aunt, kind of like her aunt. So I'm curious. See, they're under the assumption that this is an Adeptus because they're in leeway, but what they choose to rule out is the fact that it's a Fontaine myth. So there's still a possibility. The possibility that this could be something related to the oceans and to an extent folklore. So I'm still holding out. I'm still kind of crossing my fingers for that to happen because I think that this could be the case. Maybe, serious maybe. So you have the possibility of folklore, possible in Adeptus. Something related to the ocean is, Lady of the Lake as well. It could be a lot of things, really.
Paimon's so tired from trying to keep up. Don't either of you need to take any breaks?
Nah, that's just a you thing.
I can't believe it. Cloud Retainer is not here.
Huh? Did we miss her?
She doesn't like to travel, so in the past, it's always been the other Adepti who come to visit her during the festivals.
Could she have run into trouble?
Somehow Paimon doubts that anything could cause serious trouble for her.
True. Now that I think about it, Cloud Retainer would be quite capable of taking care of anything on her own.
When we're getting playable Cloud
There's no need to
Retainer.
worry about her.
Kidding.
Since she's not here, I guess the next step is to check all the other Adepti abodes, one by one.
Uh-oh. Will it involve a lot more traveling?
You're used to this by now, Paimon. Come on.
Got it! Paimon has a great idea!
Please go on, Paimon.
Our goal here is to find the Adeptus that helped Dvorak's ancestor, right? We can't hear any music right now, but if she's really as nice as the
Paimon.
Yes, she'd definitely come to help anyone who was drowning, right?
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
Don't get any funny ideas.
So, all we have to do is get the Traveler to pretend to fall into the water, and the Adeptus will come to the rescue!
If you're so sure, why don't you try?
You know perfectly well that Paimon can't swim! Paimon would sink like a rock!
Oh, is that why the fish you out? Is that why Paimon? Also, why me? I just think it's a bad idea.
Just trust Paimon! The water's pretty deep over there. Quick, swim to the very center.
What, so you want me to die? What the hell? Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to almost die? Is that what you're trying to say, Paimon?
Help! Help! Someone's drowning! If only there was a kind-hearted Adeptus here to save us!
Okay, this is just funny.
No! Whatever will a Paimon do?
What is going on?
Oh, hi, Xiao. oh, Shenhe, you as well?
How do you feel right now?
I want to punch Paimon in the face real bad, but I can't.
Shenhe! And the Conqueror of Demons.
Why don't you say something? Please don't make Paimon explain it. Okay, fine. Paimon will explain. We're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being a lifeguard and playing music. But if the Adepti aren't gonna stay home, then how are we supposed to find them?
Xiao isn't Adeptus, you...
It wasn't me.
likely a woman.
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Paimon's fault. No way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna be.
Sorry for troubling you both.
Glad you're okay.
You leaving already?
As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And one last
Yep, right.
thing. Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again.
Blame Paimon, not me. Do you think I was thinking of the drown?
The conqueror of demons comes and goes, just like the wind. Right. I didn't dare to say a word just now. How's your training going, Shenhe? Have you made any plans for Lantern Rite? We could spend it together in Liyue Harbor if you'd like. Oh, I had planned to spend the festival with Master this year. However... Oh, speaking of Cloud Retainer, when did you see her last? Earlier this morning. She set off for Mount Hulao at dawn. I noticed she was using an Adeptus art of some kind to protect a mechanism that looked like a boiler. Maybe it was a gift for Mountain Shaper. I did not inquire. So we just missed her. Please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the gift in her abode. Sure. Thank you.
Anyways, hi
It
Shenhe.
sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have gotten a lot closer recently.
I mean, they both have ties with Cloud Retainer
Yes.
after all.
During the summer and winter, I continued to train with Master. In the other months of the year, I have been learning to adapt to human life in Liyue
Shenhe is
Harbor.
a badass though.
Ganyu arranged accommodations for me in the city, and also recommended several work positions for me. But when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or Lady Ganyu, like the others, she says I mustn't address her like that.
I mean, there's a reason.
Sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes I'm not. It's a little difficult to keep track of everything.
Ganyu just doesn't want you to be too courteous around her.
Oh, is that what it is? Noted. So, you came looking for Master today because you wanted to ask her about the Mystery Adeptus. Is that right?
Yep. Oh, speaking of that, have you ever heard any music while out training in the mountains?
Music? What is that?
Oh, right.
It's a kind of a happy or relaxing sound, or a nerve-wracking sound, or even a terrifying one.
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us. We won't miss her again.
Yay! That's really helpful. Thanks.
We were just talking about this thing called music, and based on Paimon's description, I do believe I hear it every day. Please follow me.
Oh, really? Great, let's go!
So, Shenhe and Xiao makes a reappearance. Let's start with Shenhe. Her most recent introduction, or her most recent appearance, is actually her debut. 2.4 for the Archon quest and 2.4 for the event as well, because Lantern Rite 2. She's not made a reappearance since. Xiao, on the other hand, is a very unique situation. His latest appearance in Archon quest was 2.7 Perilous Trails, when he was one of the main focuses. Event-wise though, his last appearance was in 2.4 during the second Lantern Rite. And he has not made an appearance since. And also, or if you're gonna count if you're gonna count who I'm using, well, you can see Xiao makes an appearance every single time. But yeah, Shenhe and Xiao are just amazing characters in general. Like I told you how much I really how I fell in love with Shenhe immediately, and how Xiao really how I really got attached to Xiao with the Perilous Trails. Both are just fantastic characters in general.
This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
My condolences, Paimon.
Oh, whew. Paimon hasn't gone deaf after all. Paimon heard you when you just spoke. Anyway, where is this music?
It's
The
just
faint
sound.
of birdsong, the quiet murmur of the streams. These are relaxing sounds. Are they not the music of which you speak?
Oh, Paimon wasn't quite done with the description. Okay, fine, it's all Paimon's fault. What we're looking for are not the sounds of nature, but melodies played on special instruments.
Oh. And a melody is?
Go on, Paimon, sing us a nursery rhyme.
Hey, don't you patronize Paimon! Let's get one thing straight. Paimon knows plenty of nursery rhymes, but Paimon does not sing on demand without payment. Hey,
What
why
payment?
don't you just sing that one melody Shen has heard before? It'll probably help her to understand what we're talking about.
Oh god. Fingers crossed this won't attract any whopper flowers. Oh, this one. What was that? That's so deep, Jesus.
Oh, was that from the opera that Yunjin sang?
Divine Damsel of Devastation, yeah. I knew you could sing the Barbara song.
Melodies can be called music.
I thought that was the
It
freaking
felt like
Barbara
I
song.
was
I think it was gonna sing the
transported
Barbara
back to
song,
the
but no.
past. In my mind's eye, I could see the Xiao lanterns lighting up the night sky again. We're all there, raising our glasses and drinking to our heart's content on the Jade Chamber. As I watched Yunjin's performance, I felt a warm sensation in my heart. And as the drink reached my stomach, it went from warm to hot. When you hummed that melody just now, feelings from a whole year ago came right back to me.
See, now that's
as
called
strong as they
nostalgia.
were on that day. So that's the power of music.
Well, that's one thing music can do. It can give someone nostalgia.
Wow, Shenhe. That was so deep. Music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like a time capsule with all the special moments from our lives squished inside. What
Also, I
about
like
you,
how Ganyu was
Ganyu?
just
Are
clapping.
there any melodies that have left a deep impression on you?
I don't remember if my parents ever sang any lullabies to me. I know some local folk songs, and a few other things come to mind too. The songs of the sailors down at the docks, the little ditties that the vendors call out in front of their beloved shops, the tunes of folk artists performing on the streets.
All sounds of Leary Harbor.
Yes, that's right. In the past, whenever I heard the sound of those tunes, I always felt that they were worlds apart from me.
Because she
Many
was
in Lea
emotionally torn.
probably view me as a non-human. And
Yeah.
they are right, in the sense that I never could connect with humans' artistic
She's
expression
never
and their
purely
sentiments.
Adeptus, nor purely human.
So I haven't been able to integrate into their community and be a part of their lives. At least, that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I start to realize that the only barriers are ones that I have erected with my imagination. The way those melodies make me feel isn't all that different from other people after all. They're about mundane details of everyday existence. Life's ups and downs, joys and sorrows. Even though we come from different backgrounds and have different stories to tell, when it comes down to the most common things that we see and experience around us each day in the city, in that sense, we're all the same.
Huh.
You go, Ganyu.
Different
You're
backgrounds,
really making progress.
but
You have
all the
loads of
same no
friends
matter
in
what.
Liyue Harbor when you think about it. Like, okay, maybe some are more like coworkers and bosses, but at the very least,
Wow.
Guizhong and Shenhe
Wow,
are your
Paimon.
friends now, right?
Yes, I am. Technically speaking, we should refer to each other by the conventional forms of address used among fellow disciples. But now that I know what constitutes a friendship, I do believe we are more friends than co-disciples. Thank you, everyone.
This is wholesome.
Once the days
But
are
it's also
warmer,
definitely
I would like to host you at my home in the city.
some
Please
whatchamacallit.
invite Kuching as well.
There's definitely a
I've
bit
planted
of
many types of
foreshadowing,
flowers.
some little small crumbs of
I'm
lore
sure some
here.
of them will be to your taste.
Maybe I'm looking into this deeply.
You are too kind. I couldn't possibly.
Nonsense. You are my friend. I have cultivated and cared for the flowers just as you taught me. Once you've seen them for yourself, I am sure you can advise me how to do an even better job next time. I will save some for decoration. We can feast on the rest.
The what?
Then, thank you in advance. Wait, what is that saying again? If you insist?
Do people say that? I'm not completely sure either.
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out. Eating flowers? Really? Does this have anything to do with you both being the disciples of that illuminated bird?
I don't catch you will be munching on any flowers. Oh, hi!
Referred to one not by one's Adeptus title, but merely as that
Hi, Mom.
illuminated bird.
Hey, Cloud Retainer.
Master.
Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is! The illuminated bird has landed!
Watch your mouth.
Double humph. Now she has the gall to use it rather than she. Even after being chastised once already? Barely a moment has passed since we last met, and yet your impertinence has reached new heights. Very well.
I mean, it's only been
If you
it's been a
refuse
whole
to
year,
learn your lesson,
you know.
one shall scold you no further. One has received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the Adeptus you seek, one suspects to know their identity. Well, shall one lead the way?
Yes, please, Cloud Retainer.
I still have to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone here.
Very well. Await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some savory dishes.
Happy Lantern Rush, Shenhe.
If you want to release a Xiao lantern, come and find us anytime.
Thank you,
Xiao
everyone.
just comes out of nowhere saying,
Happy
what?
Lantern Rite
Xiao
to
just
you
comes out of
too.
nowhere saying, did you call me again? Thank God. Aw. She sent me the my damsel devastation. I'm glad to see they actually made a comeback in this one. Like a small appearance, but still a comeback. But yeah, Shenhe rules. I just want to say Shenhe rules. Like, on one hand, like she is bad. Like on one hand, you can see her like how badass she is when she fought against Bush and actually just fought against really just overcame her fears. Fought against Beige, and really held her own against her. But on the other hand, her compassion and the way she portrays her friendship with others,
Is this
it's just admiring.
Quaily Plains? Cloud Retainer?
Yeah,
why
or very
did you bring us
admirable.
here?
Yeah. Shenhe's
Ganyu
awesome.
is of course familiar with the name Guizhong, but have you
Oh?
heard of her?
Guizhong, huh? I've definitely heard it somewhere.
Guizhong is another name of Agentus,
The god of
the
dust.
god of dust.
No, I'm getting struck by
She was
lightning.
extroverted in nature and adored social gatherings.
We're
and
getting
inventions
Guizhong
alike.
lore?
Long ago, this region was yet a prosperous assembly. Guizhong often invited her friends to visit
Right.
her home, reserving for us seats around the largest stone table. Sea Gazer would always bring out his latest treasure and place it upon the table. He could be quite the braggart. Though usually a mild-mannered fellow, when it came to those collectibles he was so fond of, he always loved to show them off.
Paimon remembers that name. So that's what Sea Gazer was like.
He was an old friend and a former rival. One has many memories
Former
of him.
rival?
Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was content to let him just steal the spotlight. So we would then also present our proudest mechanical creations.
Again with mechanical creations.
As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways.
Only when you
and
think of
naturally
technology,
proud of our
Fontaine will come to mind, right?
accomplishments in our respective fields of
But
expertise.
ACairconditioner also comes to mind as
As a
well.
result,
Now with
one
Guizhong,
often quarreled with Seagazer. His treasures were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he compare to me, when every single one of one's accomplishments were crafted by one's own hand?
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses.
Ganyu.
Regardless, every time an argument occurred, Guizhong would come over to watch us during our mutual lambastics. On some occasions, she would join in, and on others, she'd take one of us by the limb and start uttering the most ridiculous nonsense.
What kind of nonsense?
No kind of nonsense were we spared. Sometimes she would brazenly opine, why argue between yourselves
What?
when neither of you could ever hope to beat me? Other times, she would make unsolicited suggestions, such as, once you two are done arguing, let's go to the foot of the mountain and grill some meat.
I guess that's her
She always
attempt at
sought to
cutting
make everyone
tension.
happy, and one must say, she had quite the gift for it. No matter what nonsense
So she was very
said,
loved among the
one
Adeptus.
never felt bothered or offended. It
I
also
see.
helped that she never referred to one as that illuminated bird or ladybird.
Paimon.
Come on, get over yourself!
Then you want to learn to stop calling her that name?
Anyway, just as our impassioned arguments would reach the apex of acrimony, Marchosius would bring his delectable dishes to the table. Who would dare snub the stove god and his wondrous creations? At the sight of him, we would all immediately drop the argument and prepare the table for a night of feasting and drinking. Back then, one was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Can you see yourselves ever enjoying a drink from a square cup?
I don't think I really mind.
Then you are most tolerant, but that is its own virtue. Even one could never find fault with Marchosius's cooking. As we ate, Guizhong would continue to find topics for conversation, filling the table with humor
Also,
and
Guizhong is not
laughter.
exactly an Adeptus, she's a god. Alongside
Each
the
of
other
those old
alongside
fossils had their character
Zhong Li.
flaws and points of obstinacy. So why was it that whenever we dined together, we always had a marvelous time? We would drink together from a spot high in the mountains until the moon set and the sun rose, and only then would the banquet finally come to an end. Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the
That's Madame
flowers
Ping.
with Guizhong before returning to her own abode. The glaze lilies were far more abundant back then. Entire fields of
Yeah,
them would appear
Guizhong was
to the
always
eye
associated
as
with
a
the glazed
veritable
lilies, by the
sea
way.
of flowers.
Also known as the god of dust, creator of the memory of dust.
Streetward Rambler?
That would be Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
Yeah, that's her Adeptus name.
Oh, okay. Wait, this is a lovely story and everything, but didn't we come here to find that Adeptus from Mr.
Could
Dvorak's
Guizhong
story?
be the Adeptus?
Or are you saying that it was Guizhong? Didn't she, already,
She's dead.
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precisely that.
But how does she die?
The sights here are a reminder of a time long gone, and evoke much sorrow. One should have guessed that you would disrupt one's poignant moment of mourning with your incessant questioning.
Well, I need to know.
No matter, one will share the whole story with you now.
She's obviously dead, but how did she die?
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each
Cutscene.
had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited
That's
the
Zhang
impartial
Li.
Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's obscuro Vopus mechanism was superior.
That's Guizhong.
Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts.
They gave her this
As for
artwork?
the story between Guizhong and Streetward
Oh,
Rambler,
the other one was Man in
that begins with
Pink.
a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler
So that's what
believed
Guizhong
music
looks
to
like?
be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery.
And she's what Man in Pink looked
They
like back
argued
then.
endlessly until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to
What happened to her?
last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I
the
arrived
Archon
at the
War.
scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at
She
Streetwood
died in the
Rambler's
Archon War?
request, Rex
Was that
Lapis
confirmed? I
granted
think that was
her the
confirmed
cleansing
already.
bell for
I feel
safekeeping.
like that was assumed, but
To honor our friend's memory,
the Guizhong
one made a
Ballista.
few finishing touches to her ballistic device.
Right.
Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything.
That's Man in Pink's voice?
We think of human life as
The
like a
cleansing
lamp
bell.
that's
That was a cleansing bell.
lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world.
And that's Man in
below.
Pink after she grew up.
One has always been austere and private by nature. and has
Interesting
never
pick
relished
for her
socializing.
design.
One's
Really?
dealings with Guizhong were born out of discussions on the discipline of mechanics.
Sorry for background noise. So that's what Guizhong really looked like back then. Did you ever say this design from Honkai? Really? Guizhong is a Sealer XP? Odd? Very odd choice. Very odd choice. But now that just makes me even more sus of what the hell who Guizhong really is.
What? You have loads of friends, and you seem pretty chatty.
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces
Strong
does
with
not
technology.
mean one is fond of them. One is perfectly capable of partaking in conversation despite being introverted. But in the end, one is nothing like Streetward Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful, not to mention eloquent and wise. Moreover, her friendship with Guizhong was far greater than one's own. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in the realm of musical composition. That
Music
cleansing
and
bell was one
water.
of Guizhong's proudest works, having the ability to both compose and perform.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell?
That old friend was Guizhong.
And she also said something about being a vain beauty when she was young or something.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. My foot. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained
She didn't
from
want to,
sharing
yeah.
with you the truth of its origins.
She's not just gonna
Since the
out
right
Guizhong's
time
identity
had
to
not
you
yet
like that, you
come.
know?
As for her old friend, Who else could it be? As soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhong Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision. After all, we all have known each other for several millennia. Some things between us are implicitly understood.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code? Oh, Paimon did not see that one coming.
Enough of your intrusions. Where was one up to? Ah, yes. One remembers now. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompanying instrument. After the passing of its creator,
Right,
it
yeah,
was
because
used
bells
on
themselves are
numerous
also an
occasions
instrument.
during rites of parting. But Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No, each time she rang it, it was to play the tune that Guizhong composed on it. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Guizhong's passing and Streetward Rambler's mourning, two tunes composed in discord would eventually become one harmonious composition?
The harmony of that cleansing bell.
Once upon a time, Streetward Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. But after Guizhong passed, she preferred her own company. She could often be found sitting alone at a mountain summit, contemplating and reminiscing with her zither. The music would go from mournful
The zither
to
that we got from
soothing
Coswell
to
back in
impassioned.
2.2? Could it be that or something else?
Many years passed before
Or
she
no, maybe it's
finally
the zither that we saw her
composed a melody
carrying.
to our
My bad.
satisfaction.
My bad.
In celebration, she played the tune to the clouds. Regrettably, one has only ever heard her play that tune once. Which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor of your Fontaine friend fell into the water and was saved by Streetward Rambler.
But if she was so happy with the melody, why would she only play it once?
Because it brings
One
back
was
painful
also
memories.
greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her and asked why
Songs
she
and
would
melodies
retire
aren't
the
all just
tune
happy
after having
things.
spent
Again,
so long on
can also
it.
mean sad things as well.
In response, she said,
It's probably pain.
though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone.
Yeah.
Tell me, Cloud Retainer, when the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, who else could hope to understand this tune?
Aw, poor Madam Ping.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, I stayed behind in Liyue Harbor to honor my contract. Although I met Guizhong a few times, I never knew anything of this particular story.
Guess it was a sad story.
Guizhong was quite the visionary, but tragically passed before her time. Her manuscripts still lie unfinished in the realm of clouds.
I'm curious about Guizhong's identity though.
Blank pages
I'm-
give one cause for contemplation on what might have been. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories too would have been lost to the sands of time.
Interesting that you say that yourself. Interesting.
As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus who rescued the drowning man was none other than Streetward Rambler.
Madam Ping, yeah.
Do you intend to discuss this with her?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's a good idea. But at the same time, we need to know more.
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a heavy topic that both of us...
And I don't think she's completely moved
usually
on
careful
from
to avoid.
Guizhong's death. She hides it.
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer, could it be that this is just your own personal opinion?
Oh? How so?
I've been in Leo Harbor for quite a long time now, and I've witnessed many farewells along the way. So I, too, am well acquainted with the pain of the passing of a loved one. But this doesn't bring the city or its people to a standstill. They have to keep moving forward. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely have come to understand and embrace this. Though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, the harbor of mortals has gained a wise elder. No loss can ever be undone, but there is always much that can still be gained. Ping has helped countless people, and will guide many others in the years to come. And all to whom she extends a helping hand become her friends. People she can admire flowers and discuss music with. Though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit, life goes on, because there are new friends waiting for you further down the road.
Anya's right.
We even asked Madame Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to this year's Lantern Rite.
And she was okay with it.
When we get back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform?
I'm not sure about that one, Paimon. I'm not sure about that.
You youngsters and your imaginations.
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping, and Leo Harbor is always decorated so beautifully during the festival period.
Is not every Lantern Rite the same in this regard? Were there ever anything new to discuss? One in Ping could meet any day of the year.
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different from those that have come before. How long will you simply let them pass you by?
If nothing else, do for Ganyu.
The edibles she brought this time were indeed quite delectable. Very well. Then one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
Wow.
All right. We should be getting back to the harbor as well. We don't want to keep her waiting. Once the Guili Assembly, now the Guili Plains. Say, if we planted flowers there and cared for them carefully enough, do you think that one day we'd be able to recreate the
Sea of glazed lilies.
Allow one to take back one's praise from a moment prior. You are still far too given to flights of fancy, child.
Wow, okay, thanks.
Cloud Retainer? You were still listening?
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you. This time, one is departing in earnest.